series of workshops organized by Genesis Global School, Noida, India, for pedagogical development of teaching community. In the same series today, we have gathered here to collaborate in the field of performing arts, and the topic of our workshop is Performing Arts Development Beyond Curriculum. My name is Sarita Srivastav, and I will be the moderator for this session today. Dear participants, I have the pleasure to introduce you to our today's session leader, Mr. Jackson Ligaga, whose life has been associated with the world of education for many years now. With a rich experience of 17 years in a variety of both national and international curricula, Mr. Jackson is one of the true believers and promoters of IB education, considering it an excellent curriculum providing students with the education required for having a bright future. As a lifelong learner, he has always been using any opportunity for his own learning and has been transferring his knowledge to other colleagues, believing that learning happens in collaboration and continuous sharing of perspectives and practices, for which we are here today. Over to you, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sarita, for that wonderful introduction. A very good afternoon to everyone, wherever you are. I do believe that you are having a wonderful weekend, and thank you for taking your precious time to join us for this wonderful professional development series that is being conducted by Genesis Global School. So you've heard about myself. I am a drama teacher and a theater practitioner, and gives me much pleasure to be a facilitator of this wonderful experience. So I do hope that we shall have wonderful conversations amongst ourselves, and it will be a journey, it will be the first step towards a very fulfilling journey towards the performing arts. So without further ado, I would like to start straight away. And as you've heard, the session today is about performing arts beyond development, beyond the curriculum. So by the end of our session today, we hope to have achieved the following 4 objectives. Number 1, we want to look at the state of performing arts in our schools. Number 2, we would like to look at why teach performing arts. And number 3, why should performing arts transcend or go beyond the curriculum? And number 4, we want to look at examples of programs that schools could adopt in performing arts. And to start us off, I would like us to take a moment and share what is that one word or 2 words that come to your mind at the mention of performing arts. Ms. Sarita will be sharing has already shared a link on the meeting chat, and we would like to spend 2 minutes or 3 minutes just to get your perspectives of what comes to your mind when we are talking about performing arts. So, Ms. Sarita, do we have the link in the chat?
Yes, sir. The link has already been posted in the chat, so you can access the link and write over there what comes to your mind.
Okay. So let us see what comes to when we hear performing arts. Okay. So we can see that I can see somebody is mentioning their presentation. There's some of this free form of expression. We have somebody's talking about performance, attitude. Okay, let's get to hear more samples of what comes to our mind when we are looking at performing arts. Okay, how we express ourselves. Beautiful. I like the responses that I'm seeing here. And it is good to see that we expressing yourself. We get to see people have different perspectives of what it means to when it comes to performing arts. Somebody has talked about body movement. The body is a very important tool when we are talking about performing arts. Brilliant. We're talking about stories, telling stories in performing arts. That is profound. And then somebody here has written something to do with culture. Yes, we express our culture through performing arts. And somebody has written here, therapy. Wow. You can see that through performing arts, it's a form of therapy. It's a form of where we let out emotions. That is great. It's very good to hear these thoughts. Okay.
There is one word in the chat section also. Ms.
Yes.
Eunice has posted, that is entertainment, and
Okay.
one more is there, free form of expression.
Free form of expression, and somebody has talked about entertainment, performing arts as a form of entertainment. That is fantastic. Somebody is talking about to know who you are, energy through expression. So you can imagine if performing arts did not have energy, it would be very dull. Open world to be creative. I like also that we have the freedom to look at that. Yes, Miss Sarita? Miss Sarita, do we have any other comments?
Not in the chat section yet, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. We have way of communication, expressing yourself, telling someone's story beyond imagination. I like the fact that you're talking about beyond imagination. And when you're talking about beyond imagination, we are saying, what if? What if? What if? Yes, so imagine if, you know, the beauty about performing arts, we create a world. And we create a world, we communicate, we become creative, and it's a fantastic way for a platform to express ourselves. So thank you very much for sharing those thoughts. Great discourse there in terms of what we think about performing arts. So we move forward, and I would like to just start with thinking about the phrase that is on front of our screens. So when we are thinking about performing arts, it is not only the performance to it. Performing arts, it's more to it. And what resonates very well with me is, and what is also propagated by the IB community and the International Baccalaureate, it is something to do with the human connection. The human connection, what it means, the way we share a common humanity. So this, yes?
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Sir, the screen is still on for the poll everywhere. So if you can share the screen. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Ms. Sarita, for that. I will reshare my screen. So we are talking about how profound performing arts is. And I have a phrase on my screen. Ms. Sarita, is my screen now visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible now.
Okay, thank you very much. So we are talking about how, we're just looking at this phrase that is on our screen. And look at the second image there, what the performing art does to us. And I was talking about the human connection that is brought forth by performing arts. And when we are looking at performing arts, I was saying that we are looking at the common humanity that we share. And the International Baccalaureate talks about international mindedness and shared guardianship. So that is very fundamental as we think about performing arts. As I move forward, I would like us to take a moment, and I just want you to think on a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, could you please give a score of your school what would your school score on a scale of 1 to 10? And give a short reason why are you scoring whatever score that you're giving. A 1 would say that performing arts, it's on a very small scale in your school. And a 10 would be, you're saying that the performing arts program in your school is vibrant. There are so many programs. They are both in school, out of school, and even participating in even international, maybe international performances. But even at a national level is still a good one. So we could spend maybe 2 minutes on this one and take a scorecard and share our thoughts. So we will write this in the meeting chat, and we will get to sample some of the comments and scores that are there in the meeting chat. Miss Sarita?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Sir, there are some numbers coming up on the chat screen. So Miss Gracie has given 7 to herself, Miss Stacia 8, Mr. Dhaval 8.
Okay, so we can see that people are scoring 7 and 8. So what it basically means is there is an aspect of performing arts. There's an aspect of performing arts. So that is very good. Would you maybe get a comment or 1 or 2 from a member of the audience to just share the state of performing arts?
So there is one more there.
Yes?
There is one more PYP guest. They have shared that number 8 for themselves, and they say that as there are a lot of school events and practices, educators are involved in a very vibrant community, and this is Sunshine Worldwide School, from Sunshine Worldwide School here.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
They have given themselves 8.
Yes, okay. That is great. That is great. A score of 8 is very good. And what it means is, of course, will always be room for improvement. There will always be room for improvement or room to make something better. There is something that we can always work on. So we want to...
Ms. Gracie has shared that they are a co-curricular school.
Yes.
And they had given themselves a 7 before.
Okay. All right, that is good. Are there more comments coming in?
Ms. Pushpa writes, yes, always there is growth and change.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for those thoughts. So we can see that, of course, there's some program that is always going on. So we will have a discussion, and this is the right, we want to take a moment to just share in this forum and ask ourselves that what can we do better? So there is a Padlet link that will be shared with Miss Sarita. Miss Sarita is sharing a Padlet link, and these are just voices on performing arts. And I just want us to take a moment and look at these quotes, and you can also look at the quotes also shared on the Padlet link, and just share your thoughts regarding these voices on performing arts. So when we are talking about performing arts, we are looking at young people who we want to grow in confidence. We want to look at them developing empathy. We also want our students to develop ethical judgment in everything. We usually tell our teenagers or the young people that they are leaders of tomorrow. And what a better place to give them an opportunity than the performing arts, where we give them a voice, where they get to discover about decisions and take actions regarding certain pertinent issues that are happening in the society. We also look at the next quote there by Matt Butcher. And when we are looking at this quote, it is delving deep into thinking about personal choices. We are looking at not judging students. We are looking at students creating a world. We are looking at students experimenting. Ms. Sarita, I would like to stop sharing so that we could maybe share some of the comments that are there on the Padlet link. We could share maybe
Yes,
some comments
yes,
on the
the
Padlet link.
Padlet link is already shared in the chat section, and few people have started writing on that also. So
Okay.
I'll just share the screen.
Mr. Jackson, if possible, maybe we also hear someone speaking while the others are writing. Would be interesting also to hear them.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so if I could get maybe some thoughts, let me get to hear some thoughts about the quotes that are being shared on the screen. Could I please pick out on Eunice? Eunice, would you want to share maybe a few thoughts regarding the quotes, the voices on performing arts? Eunice? Okay, let me pick out on Mr. Daval. Daval, would you want to share maybe some thoughts regarding using these quotes? Would you want to maybe share your thoughts on what you think about these quotes?
Sir, for me, performing arts is it's a really what we can say the broad mind language where we have different types of what we can say the performing arts, where it comes with the drama, when it comes with the dance, when it comes with the music. And yes, so basically the performing arts, it's really necessary for coming future students, because nowadays arts is a really important role in our life, because we all we have seen these days the corona have give us a very big lesson to to stay fit, to stay creative. So this arts keeps us creative and always make us a better human. And also it's really necessary to become a part of performing arts, because if arts keeps you alive, arts keeps you alive, and arts give you the right path towards to become a human.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daval. And I like to resonate very well about what I just started at the beginning, what it means to be human. And that is the power of performing arts. I can see a few comments here coming up, and somebody here has written performing arts gives the broad mind language where students become better human and express better towards the society and share imagination while performing. I would like to pick a comment from Sarah. Sarah, would you like to share, please, what your thoughts about when you're looking at these phrases? What comes to your mind, Sarah?
Could you just give me a few minutes so that I could just finish reading them? Then I can share my thoughts.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Let me pick out on Shilpa. Shilpa, would you please just share a few thoughts regarding this?
Sure. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We at Sunshine Worldwide School look at the holistic development of the learners. So, in our school, we give like equal importance to the performing arts, art, dance, drama, music. So, we pick on learners and we develop their skills in whatever they learn.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Eric, maybe you'd want to share a thought or two?
Just repeat the question for me, please.
There are quotes that have been shared on a Padlet link there, and they're just looking at the voices of performing arts, basically the role of performing arts to the overall well-being of a student. So maybe your thoughts on this.
Okay. I've not looked at the quotes yet, but one thing I know is when you're looking at performing arts, you're not just looking at the end period of a student's academic calendar. You just don't look at the student's academic calendar. What you look at is the impact of performing arts even further than that. What is this thing that the student is gaining at this period of time that will help this student even after that period of time that they're in school? So performing arts, for example, if it's a student who has already picked up, maybe they want to become a lawyer and they've already started studying courses related to law. What is this thing that performing arts is adding in that student's life that will not be gotten in other subjects? So confidence, eloquence, articulation, pronunciation, being able to stand in front of a multitude of people and just speaking out your mind without fearing. So these you get these life skills from performing arts. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Very well said, Eric. I have Sarah. Sarah, you could share, please.
Okay, so after reading the quotes that have been posted, I think there are a couple of things that stand out. So one is in regards to performing arts and how it allows students to be able to embody different characters. And the good thing about performing arts is that you can be able to embody anyone. So you can be a student, but you can be able to embody a mom or different characters, and that can be expressed through our feelings, our emotions, how our gestures, and how we use our body language. And then something else that popped up is how we can be able to use performing arts to create awareness. So it can be in regards to a problem and how as performers, we have the ability to be able to speak to our audience and leave them questioning or leave them with a message so that when they go back home, maybe they can be able to reflect on it.
Beautifully said there, Sarah. Thank you very much. Mr. Daval, and then I will come to you, Eric.
Yes, sir. So as per while performing arts allow children to develop creative passions, and also they simultaneously teach children language and communication skills, and also helping them to communicate effectively with others with confidence. Also, a PA are all about self-expressions and exploring alternative options and embracing individuality. Basically, like it's not about the black and white, or it's not about the right or wrong answer. And this also allow children to develop a self-confidence and believe in themselves.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daval. Eric, did you want to add on to this?
Oh, yes. I've just read something that has triggered something I was just thinking. That it says here the performing arts in education provides students with the opportunity to engage the mind, the body, and the emotions. Now, thinking about this, it reminded about therapy. Most people forget that performing arts can also be a source of therapy. You find students or even adults have gone through trivial things, maybe through COVID or other pandemics or other problems in their current, their current environments. And performing arts gives you a platform to release those bad memories, those pent up bad emotions that you have in your heart that stops you from living. So when they write, when they're acting on stage, when they're criticizing a piece of performance based on their previous life experiences, it becomes then a process of therapy for them, a process of healing. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric and Mr. Daval, for sharing deep thoughts regarding performing arts. And very many comments are coming in on the Padlet link. And we get to see how performing arts, what it does to us. And the Padlet link will still be open. Please let us share. Let us share, and we get to learn from one another. And that will be a very, very good experience. So thank you very much, Ms. Sarita, for sharing the Padlet link. We would like to just continue with our discussion, and we want to continue with where we were. So we were looking at the different quotes and we were looking at the voices. Now, we move on and we are asking this question: why should performing arts extend beyond the taught curriculum? Some of this has been addressed, but maybe let's dig deeper into why should we teach this, why should performing arts extend beyond the curriculum? And you can raise your hand and you can write your thoughts on the meeting chat and just share what you think, why should it go over and above? And I think this has also been further elaborated when we were looking at the two quotes. And on my end, Ms. Sarita, when you get a hand or a comment, you can always share. But yes, when we are thinking about performing arts, we are thinking about, when we are talking about the curriculum, it is very structured in the sense that students they are confined into classrooms. But when we are extending it, we are thinking beyond, over and above what is confined within a curriculum, a set structure of some sort. And it would be good that we give students an experience. We give students an experience that they wouldn't have had when it was in a traditional classroom setup. And I think this has been very well resonated by some of the comments that have been shared by some of the people when we were talking about the comments. Ms. Sarita, do we have any hand or comment?
Sir, I have comments coming here, so I'll just read from Mr. Eric. He writes that our assessment of students within the arts students is to get them ready for the workplaces. What are these qualities needed in various workplaces that can be taken from the arts? And then I have one more comment coming up from PYP that says real life connections need to be made, and when it goes beyond the curriculum, there are no limitations and learners are encouraged to think out of the box in creating and understanding.
Beautiful, beautiful, very good thoughts there. Yes?
She's Miss Asha. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have only these comments right now. And I request participants to raise their hands also if they want to share their views.
Okay, thank you very much for those thoughts. So we see that what everyone, when I would talk about what everyone is just sharing is, they are talking about equipping students with life skills, skills that might not be taught in the traditional classroom setup. So this is beautiful to think about. So maybe just
there are two more comments.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
So there are two more comments.
Yes.
One is from Ms. Thacia. Performing arts helps a child in school or anywhere. It builds specific discipline. They help in developing general academic and soft skills. And then another one is from Ms. Gracie. Creativity is most important, which can be used best in performing arts.
Beautiful. So look at what
Mr. Dhaval has also written. Yes, sir. Should I read from Mr. Dhaval?
Yes, please read.
Mr. Dhaval has written, performing arts being an integral part of education provides students with the opportunity to engage the mind, the body, and emotions. Students can explore and express great themes and ideas through their performance. This allows children to develop their self-confidence and self-belief.
Beautiful.
That's good.
And it is very beautiful to see that what we are actually talking about, look at people talking about creativity. Creativity, there is no other place you can get creativity out of the performing arts. Think about confidence. How do you build confidence in students if you don't send them out there? Let the students perform, let them make mistakes, and that is the best way they will learn. We know very well that when we make mistakes, that's the best way we learn. And something very, very important that also IB propagates is the aspect of collaboration, where we are able to share commonality, we are able to share experiences. And we remember, we talk about disagreeing constructively and proactively. So that my opinion doesn't not have to be right, but we have to agree to disagree. And that is very important when we are thinking about performing arts. And this again has been shared about problem solving. We are looking at also leveraging on feedback. Remember, generally when we are looking at taught curriculum, feedback is always important. And what a better place to give a feedback than the performing arts, because we appreciate the process. We appreciate the process and we get better by every time when we give feedback. And I usually use this statement when I'm giving feedback to students. What could be done better? What could have been done well? What improvements could be done? So those are areas that we need to be thinking about when we are looking at performing arts generally. And to sum it up, when we are talking about performing arts, the learner profile, the IB learner profile is a fantastic, these are fantastic attributes that actually cement what we want to look at in performing arts. When you look at the 10 learner profile attributes, they will clearly tell you how profound performing arts is. So these learner profiles, they are really, they say it all about the importance of performing arts. I remember when I look back at, I remember, I think it was Sarah who was saying that as we are students, we can be able to become mothers, we can become doctors. You think about it, we are able to take risks. That is taking risks. And another attribute that I'll just maybe comment about, being excellent communicators. It's brilliant. So these are the benefits of just extending performing arts beyond the curriculum. So as we move forward, we want to look at how do we create school programs in performing arts. And I've come up with maybe considerations when we are thinking about school programs in performing arts. And I would like to talk about maybe just these 4 points. When we're thinking about performing arts, let's think about short-term projects, an event that will take a short period of time to create, from the point of conceptualizing an idea to the execution. We are thinking about long-term projects that will take a longer period of time to prepare, and eventually the presentation. And very important is we need to think about presenting. We need to showcase our students. Let's take them out there. Let's take them to competitions in school and out of school. Let's think about national and regional competitions. There would be very fantastic considerations to look at as we think about programs in performing arts. So I would like to pose this question. What are some of the performing arts programs that your school is active in? So this one you can do by a show, you can raise your hand, you can type in the meeting chat, and we would sample some of the comments. So let me pick out on Miss Arita. Do you have anything memorable that you would remember from your high school days in regard to performing arts?
Sir, I would just like to share that during my school days, I would really remember the annual school plays, which were like festivals in school organized, and it was mandatory for everybody of us to take part in that. And we really had fun. I could see that the shy children, those who were really shy and in mixing up with each other, through all these practice sessions and through the performance and going through the final performance, everybody mingled together, developed definitely the communication skills, the shyness went away, and I can say that we were proud to stand in front of the audience there and deliver our roles and really felt proud of it. So it brought many changes in our personalities, definitely.
Thank you very much. You talk about memories that will always be etched on your mind. If I could pick out on Sarah, Sarah, would you share memorable performing art experience? Sarah.
Okay, for us from the previous school I was from, what would happen is that for the year 11s, they would always require us to have a production. So it would vary between a musical play or like a normal play, and everyone in the year group is expected to participate. So it's a very, I'd say, a good initiative in which it brings everyone together, and it actually, like the previous madam said, it brings about memories and you're able to build on memories and remember that day. So what I like about it is that every year has to do it when you reach year 11. And apart from that, I think also in junior school we used to have something similar, whereby we would actually have plays before we would go to senior school. And then I think my year group was also lucky to be able to have Mr. Jackson actually help us to do a play, which was not normal during that time, but then it actually helped us to be able and inspired me to pick theater. So also looking back at a question that we were focusing on the importance of having like performing arts beyond the curriculum, it enables students to be able to look into the future and also determine what it is they would like to pursue later on. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for those wonderful thoughts, Sarah. We can see that people make, through involvement in performing arts, people are able to make informed decisions. Eric, maybe I could hear your thoughts about programs that have been vibrant that you have conducted in regard to performing arts.
I've seen so many people have written on the chat annual plays. Annual play is a fashionable event that usually takes place in every other school. There's an event called Mad Night. Mad Night is a composition of music, visual arts, and drama. So you put all that together and you see how you can fuse it to form an event, either that happens within a day or within an entire week. And a school can also organize an entire festival of a week with different parts of performances, poetry, monologue, spoken word, and all that falling within a week. And lastly, something called drama symposium, where you have an activity that is between students of different schools. So we call it a drama symposium. So you can pick different activities that these students can do within a day or 2 days. Maybe you can teach them how to write a script and they actually write one and maybe stage it in the second day or probably towards the end of the day. So students coming together, exchanging ideas based on different types of topics, make them, understand more skills, techniques, and even concepts.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Eric, for wonderful thoughts regarding the things that you have done and things that could be done. Ms. Sarita, would you want to share maybe a few comments that are there in the meeting chat?
Yes, sir. We have many comments here, so I will just quickly share a few with you. From the beginning, like Mr. Manish has written, create performing art clubs in the school and integrate one in the timetable. Then annual days, events, street plays mentioned by Ms. Thesia. Ms. Gracie mentions annual days and festivals, drama club, and then We can go to Miss Eunice. She mentions annual events, cheese and wine plays, interclass house competitions. Ms. Shilpa mentions annual concert, classical dance performances. Then we go to PYP. Miss Asha mentions celebration of learning, making learning visible, collaboration with other schools on performing arts, participation in IB and other networks to showcase their work. Mostly it is this same thing reverberating every time. I mean,
thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for those wonderful ideas. Now, it is one thing to talk about them, but it is very important that we also implement some of these things. And I know one thing that we should be aware of, it is starting. Let us start programs in our schools that we would create interest into the performing arts. And it will create a very good rapport. And actually, if we could have even programs where teachers are involved, where teachers and students are involved, it creates a very good mix and even makes the teaching and learning a very good experience for the teachers. So there is, I just came up with a list of some of the things that we could do. For example, in dance, you can think about dance competitions. They could be solo, they could be group. You can have themed dance competition. I remember one time I was an organizer of a dance, of a competition called Indians. It is a combination of the word India and dance. So when you think about it, it is celebration of dances from India. And that was a very fantastic opportunity for students to showcase. You can talk about celebrations the world over, wherever we are. We have celebrations that usually take place. And with planning, we can always come up with dances. And what a good opportunity to have dance workshop with practitioners. And then having a cultural day where you can incorporate even other performing arts or the visual arts. You can incorporate that into cultural day. Mr. Daval, what would you add on to this dance program if you were told you are starting a dance program for a school? What would you add on to this?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, in dance program, you have mentioned here that dance competition, solo and group, that is what we can say the first criteria. And the theme dance competition, celebrations, and also work with. But also, like, we can also add with the dance workshop from the well-known performers, like those who are, we can call it the older performers of India, that we can call it the 90s performers of India. And that's and we come back to the new culture, that's we call it the 21st century. So we can have like the workshop from that well-known performance, so that students can able to learn the old culture and the new culture at same time, sir, so that they will understand the value of dance. And also they will understand how the dance culture started from which time to now. It's still continuing. And the dance is basically, sir, like you have just said, like performing arts. We all are teachers. So what we do, our job is to like to doing pass it on. What we do, pass it on. We always pass it on to, like, you also learn from your teacher. That teacher taught you, now you also passing on to the students. So dance is all about to passing it on. So
thank you very much, Mr. Daval. Mr. Daval is a very passionate dance educator, and I know he talked something about the past. So, you know, there will always be a new dance, but it will always be good to teach about old school as you embrace new school, as I would call it. And then we're looking at music programs. So when we're talking about music programs, we are looking at choir, we are looking at the orchestra, we are looking at lip sync competition, singing competitions, having music concerts, music workshops. You can even have DJing competition. so that you have a very broad spectrum of programs, and you can spread it in your school calendar such that there will always be something being done in the performing arts. So that is more about music programs. Then we go to, I'd say, dance, drama stroke poetry. A wide array of activities, monologue writing, monologue performance. We can look at one-act festival. We can look at poetry. We can look at choral verse competition, solo verse competition. We can look at dramatized verses competition, spoken word, musical, annual productions, and storytelling. And the list is endless. So we have a very wide array of, this is, when we're thinking about performing arts, it's like a buffet. It's like a buffet. So sample, get students to sample at the buffet, and eventually they will get to learn what they love most. So my list is not exhaustive. Eric, do you have anything that you would add on into drama programs?
Actually, I saw something to do with celebration, and one thing that students work hard towards is achieving something. So we can copy the idea of Oscar and the Grammy Awards, such that within that period of 1 year, when we're working so hard to put all these things together, that these students back in their mind, they know there are these big trophies or awards that they will get at the end of it. So the Grammy or the Oscar Awards can also be an event by themselves, such that the best artworks or the best stage performances or musical performances that have been there within the year are taken to that event. It becomes like a gala event of the best performing artists and performing artworks. And we have students and parents and teachers wearing their best clothes. You have space that has been well done with beautiful music and DJs and all those kind of things. So it becomes like a mega event that is an ultimatum of what students have been doing the entire year. If you have such an event, the students will work tirelessly to make sure that they are excellent on stage because of such a big event. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Eric. You brought in a very interesting dynamic to this, a culmination of so many events, our Grammys. So a school can have their own Grammys, and you make students take ownership of organizing the event. And you can see that the skills that you are slowly inculcating into the students. And that is very well said. Thank you very much for that, Eric. So we are looking at the way forward. And here, I would just like maybe to hear a comment or two from people who, based on what the sharing experience, what would you want to do for your school? What would you like to do for your school? I'll pick out on random people or people who can raise their hand to just share maybe events that they think they would want to start in their school. So do we have anyone who is thinking about an idea that now, based on the information that we have gotten, what would you like to see your school do in the short term or in the long term? We'll maybe start with maybe somebody who has not spoken. Maybe Gracie. Gracie, would you want to share some thoughts?
Namaste. So I would like to say that in our school we already have these evening clubs which are going on. So this is where we pick our learners and we try to give them some subject specific skills, like maybe they are good in dancing also. So the educator picks them up and then you have to train them, give them that skill of dancing. So there we also different dance styles are being taught, and then when it is drama, then the drama educator takes some learners who are interested, and that's how we are doing apart from our regular classes, we are also having these evening clubs which help the learners to enhance their skills. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Galina, would you like to share? Galina, would you mind sharing what would you like to see your school do in the near future? As we wait for Galina to speak, Mina, would you like to share maybe one or two things that you'd like a school to share? Mr. Manish, what would you like to see in your school as in regard to performing arts? What would you like to see?
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to speak. You know that I already have a drama club which I initiated in this school along with one more teacher, my wife, and we both are running this club. And then you joined, and this is taking a very good shape in our school, and I feel that we can build it up and make it more stronger in our school, and let many of other students who are interested in drama be a part of this club, and we can organize plays and short act these things in our school. That is what I'm thinking, actually.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Mr. Manish. And as we're talking about that, Mr. Manish, in the near future, we will be having an improvisation competition where it is the spur of the moment, students compete, and then we get the audience to vote. So the array of ideas, we have a lot that we can think of. So I can see from PYP, arts, music, drama, dance educators working together to plan in learners, showcasing the elements of performing arts blended. Thank you very much, PYP. I could see here, Shilpa is saying that besides regular classes, we have extra classes after school. So that is a very good thing to look at. Ms. Wadui, what would you like to see in the near future in regards to performing arts?
Sir, ma'am is on maybe on another meeting, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, maybe
All
she's
right.
on hold right now.
Okay, thank you very much for the responses. So we reached the end of our presentation today, and it's time for any question and answer. And also, there is a link shared, which is being shared by Ms. Sarita on the meeting chat. Please take a moment and just fill in the details so that we will be able to keep constant communication with you, and as we think forward about future programs. And I'm sure we will have another session where we will be conducting something different from what we have done today. So at this point, we would like to take any question and answer. We would like to take questions and probably answer. So you can raise your hand or you can write in the meeting chat.
The link is shared in the chat section. So if you can access it as a Google Form link, you can please fill that out. For us, it will be easy to contact you later. And please raise your hands, as Sir said, for any questions if you have, or anything you want to share with us.
Yeah, anything that you'd like to share, would really appreciate your feedback. Anything that you would like to clarification, doubts, we would love to hear from you. Mina, you can go ahead and share. Mina, you can go ahead and ask your question.
I think we can't hear Miss Mina.
Okay. Okay.
If she
As we
can
wait
type
for,
it, if it is there, if she can type it, I can read out the question for her.
okay.
If
Miss
that's
Mina, you can type if you cannot hear us. Anyone with a question, we would like to maybe, or it doesn't have to be a question. If you have any comments, you're free to share. So meanwhile, as we are looking at that, yes.
Miss Mina says that she's not able to copy the link, which I have shared on the.
You have to just click on the link.
Okay, Miss Mina, maybe you could share your your email so that we could share the link with you.
If it's possible, you can just click on the link if it takes you to the page. If in case to the Google, it takes you to the Google form. Or else, yes, like sir recommended, you can share your email here with us so we can get back to you.
All right. So if
Anyone
anyone,
the email there. Yeah.
okay. So any question, any clarification, or anything that you'd like to share, we would be happy to hear you. So, Ms. Sarita, I guess we do not have any questions. We'd like to extend our appreciation for taking your time to be with us this afternoon. And we hope that it has been an informative session, and we look forward to hearing from you. Please, once you have, please ensure that you fill in the form that has been shared, and we will be keeping in touch in the near future. So thank you very much, and have a lovely, lovely evening or afternoon wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.